Before I started traveling, I learned about hostels. And for y'all, those of you out there who don't know what a hostel is, it's basically a dorm room with a bunch of people, normally travelers just like yourself, who sleep in different beds. Sometimes they're bunk beds or individual beds. Some of them have curtains around them, others do not. And I used to feel some type of way because, as you already know, there's a bit of racial issues in America as far as black and white people go. So, like I said in previous videos, you never want to bring your American values to Thailand because the way they operate out there ain't the way people feel here in the United States. I had a prejudgmental ideal in my mind that if I go to a hostel, people was going to feel some type of way about a black guy coming in there. The hostel I stayed at was the Coop Hostel, and no one felt any type of way about it. In fact, at this hostel, they had curtains around the bed. So all I had to do was slither out of my bed into the shower area or to go outside. And that's like the only time people living in the hostel would see me. And I stayed there for about 30 days. So the majority of the time, I would see like people coming in and out. People will only stay for like 1 day, 3 days, maximum 1 week. I haven't seen nobody stay there for a month like I did. If you plan on visiting a hostel, just understand you're going to see different people coming in and out. While at this hostel, an Asian guy came. I have no idea which country he was from, but I remember him sparking a conversation with me. He actually stayed there for about a week and a half. But every single night, there was some kind of scratching, clicking noise, like crank, crank, like a cranking noise. The item that made this cranking noise would start singing a tune. Do, 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 do. It was like bells ringing. And then it seems like he would wake up at night and start cranking this item again. And then the rhythmic bells would start playing again. And he would do this all freaking night, sometimes waking me up. I would say about 4 days into his stay, the hostel posted a sign on the lower floor for everyone to see it, stating, "Please stay quiet in your bunk area so you do not wake up or disturb other people." So I guess other patrons was complaining about it. I didn't say anything about it, but it was very freaking annoying. Another thing about this hostel too, when I first arrived to this hostel, at night, there was an Asian guy. I assumed that he worked at the hostel. Come to find out, he didn't. And he was really into video games. Now, there's a computer down there that anyone can use. It's right next to a little stand where they keep the water, the juices, some of the noodles that you could purchase. They used to sell smoothies, but they no longer sold them because no one was buying them. This guy would play internet video games on a computer. So one day he heard my accent and could tell that I was American. At first he thought I was a Nigerian because of the way I looked. And he sparked a conversation with me. Seemed very happy too. I believe he might have been from India or someplace like that. Very young guy. He might have been Thai, but he had a cell phone that he bought in Thailand from a person off the streets. And he had a video game downloaded on his cell phone. And he wanted to learn how to get a boss or some more coins to play on this video game. So he asked me, did I have a debit card? And I told him, yeah. Now keep in mind, I know all about credit card scams or whatever, but this guy, he genuinely really wanted to play the game. He was on YouTube trying to figure out how to boost up to the next level, how to bypass certain systems, but he couldn't get the information. He kept running into clickbait videos, and I kept telling him, no, man, they don't give you any information in that video. They just want your clicks. But if I had the money on my current debit card, I would have gave it to him. My money didn't come in, but me and him went to 7-Eleven because he was going to give me the money so I can put on my card so he can buy the game credits. But I had MasterCard at the time, and 7-Eleven only accepted Visa. I did have a Visa card, however, but only a bank would put money on my card. So it was just too much to go through. So I just said, forget it. So he was my first friend in Thailand. But there was an African lady who walked past on the streets over there, and she recognized that I was American based on the way I was dressing. And she said, hello, brother. And I responded. And the boy told me, you don't want to stay away from them. Stay away from her. That's a prostitute. He said, they dirty. And I found that to be very interesting. I'm like, But like I said, I don't know if he was Thai or if he was Indian. He was a very young guy. As I said, in a hostel, you're going to run into people from all over the world. You will hear Japanese, Chinese, English, British. Well, British is not a language. They speak English with a British accent. But you're going to hear these different type of people and see them coming in and out of the hostel. One day, I was on the balcony eating my food as usual. A white guy came up there. At the time, I was on a webcam chat room that I frequent often, stunning, like, yeah, I'm in Thailand, what y'all, look at me now, type of deal. The Australian guy heard me and sparked up a conversation with me because he could tell I was American. I told him which website I worked on, which was Upwork. He said, wow, I actually hired people from Upwork. Then he proceeded to tell me the reason he was in Thailand trying to get a coder or someone to create his website. It has something to do with the digital world for sure. And he said that he tried Upwork and he couldn't find anyone. He will always get someone present a proposal that wasn't from the countries he was looking for, or just didn't have the skills he was looking for. So he figured if he can meet the person in person, get to know them, and determine whether he's going to do business with them, then he can roll with that. He said that the reason why he didn't want to stay in Australia and do this business was because freelancers in Australia charge an arm and a leg, and he didn't want to pay that high price. So at first he went to Philippines, and he was telling me how cheaper the Philippines was compared to Thailand, but decided to settle in Thailand to search for a freelancer to help him with his business. He even said that I can work for him because, I do freelance writing. So he said that I can work for him, but it just didn't work out. However, the Australian guy was staying on the second floor, and I was staying on the first floor of the hostel. And I used to go up to the second floor often just to use the showers because, to be honest, the showers in there looked dirty, filthy, molded. I hated taking showers in there. The cleanest ones were on the second floor. So this Australian dude started telling me how cheap the hostel was. I'm like, oh, I know. It's like the cheapest hostel in the area, and it was high quality compared to the rest of the hostels he'd been to. He said it's a great price, great beds, good showers. And I kind of disagree with him. I'm like, no, the showers, I don't really like them because I'm very picky about where I bathe my body. It's just me. So I made the mistake of telling this guy that I like going to the second floor to use the showers. Right? So the next day when I awoke, I proceeded to go to the second floor, and the door is locked. He locked the door on me. And every day after that, that door was locked. And every time I would go up there to the second floor, I could hear his voice talking with other people inside the dorm room. Now, keep in mind that I stayed there for 30 days max. That door is never locked. I stayed there on my first trip to Thailand. I stayed there on my second trip to Thailand, and that door was never locked. Coincidentally, I tell him the next day is locked, and it's locked for the entire time after that because I left before he did. Amazing. And this Australian guy, I would see him outside, and he seemed like he really enjoyed Thailand. He directed me to a vendor who was selling sweet snacks. Now, when you think of snacks here, you think of your snacks smothered in sugar, very unhealthy. You eat it, you get diabetes eventually. In Thailand, the snacks are so healthy, so tasteful, but yet got a subtle touch. Absolutely healthy. So I decided to take his advice, went over there. The vendor was selling a small dough ball with flaxseed sprinkle on it. And when you bite into it, there was a blueberry gummy middle that was absolutely delicious. He also had some fried sweet plantain chips. Very delicious. And a couple of more things that I can't remember. But if it wasn't for this Australian dude, I would have never known, because I had stopped eating sweets when I got to Thailand, because as I stated earlier in my Ghetto in Thailand video and other videos that you can find in the description box below, the food is extremely healthy and you don't really develop a taste for snacks and junk food. Speaking of white guys, let me tell you a story about how I was at the hotel in Chiang Mai. One day I see a guy. Apparently he stayed there for 2 days. And this is my first day at the hotel on my second trip. The white guy, older gentleman, clearly from America based on his accent, come downstairs and start talking with the personnel. The lady clerk standing behind the counter, who takes people reservations, gives you your keys, and any other relevant information pertaining to the hotel. He started asking her about some people across the street. Then he started asking about people in the hotel. Keep in mind that he was a guest there just like anybody else. He was just in everybody's business trying to get information. I already knew that once I left, he was going to try to get some information on me. But sometimes, as I said before, you have a lot of people who bring their American value systems there. Like I was telling you, I was walking past this older white guy down the street from that hotel, and the moment he saw me, there was just an aggressive vibe, as if he wanted to lynch me on the spot. I'm going to do a video about that later. If you go back to some of my YouTubes, somebody said that Chiang Mai don't want N-words. And my response to them is, which Chiang Mai? Are you talking about the white Chiang Mai or the Asian Chiang Mai? Because when it comes to the Asian Chiang Mai, it seems like they want us there. They want that money. They're very inviting. They love seeing you. Even if it's just an act, they give you a warm feeling like you want to be there. So I never really felt, they was friendly. Even when I got on a Baht bus, there was 4 boys who helped me with my bag and told me, welcome to Thailand. Their exact words when I got up to Chiang Mai on my second trip, because I went to Chiang Mai back and forth like 3 or 4 times. When it comes to the white Chiang Mai, keep in mind that majority of white people there operate just like the Asians there. Calm, cool, respectful. In order for you to hop on a plane and go to an international destination like that, you have to be open-minded to a certain degree. Most white people are, but you have a few who have a supremacy mindset that they brought from America, Germany, wherever they're from, and they bring it to Thailand. And they actually went to Thailand to get away from the colored people. So to see you there, they automatically have disdain, because all the stereotypes that they believe about you pop into their head and come out through their actions. So when it comes to those people, they don't want you there. But I remember I was using a computer at this same hotel on the ground floor, and there was these British guys. They were real cool. And I don't know, I kept on looking at them because I was still buzzing from the energy of being in Thailand. Also, I was drinking smoothies every day. That's one of the reasons I slimmed down, because right next door to the hotel was, I think, a massage parlor or a pedicure manicure place. And the lady sold smoothies. So I would go down there when I didn't feel like walking, or I didn't have enough money for that day, and get me a smoothie or two and drink that all day. So my mind was open, I'm buzzing, my eyes are wide, and I kept on looking across the way at these British dudes. After a while, they started to feel uncomfortable. They like, man, this black guy over there looking at us. They was real big British guys too, with white tank tops on. Yeah, the British, the British people can go either way. Some are cool, some are not. All the ones I met, for the most part, was cool. When I first came to Bangkok on my very first trip, I took a cabbie, and as I stated before, you got to go to either the second floor or the first floor. I cannot remember, but when you go outside the doors, you have to go up to a machine, press a button to order a cab, and the ticket will print out. You take the ticket, look at the number, and proceed to the section where the number is. Give it to the cabbie. He's going to take you where you need to go. In this video, the cabbie stopped to take a pee-pee in the middle of the road. Now, I had told him, just take me to a cheap hotel or a cheap hostel. And this place was very far. And it cost me about $15, $13 to get over there. And he was driving for like 30 minutes, 45 minutes or something. Very, very far. So it's raining cats and dogs. And he got out and proceeded to urine just on the side of the road. Once I seen that, I knew Thailand was a different place. And it's funny because the cabbie's name and all his information is on the back seat. I guess he had to go. Let me tell you about those cats that was at the hostel I was referencing earlier. One day I was sitting at the computer doing my work, and the cat you see in this video is the mother cat. She had 2 kittens. Those kittens, I mean, they would eat anything you give them. One of the kittens, I think the one with the blue collar. So keep in mind, there's 2 kittens, one with a blue collar, one with a red collar. I'm sitting down. All of a sudden, I feel somebody knocking on my shirt. I'm like, what the hell? But I tried to remain calm, cool, and friendly. I look back, and it was the freaking cat climbing on my shirt and sitting on my shoulder. And then it just sat over there on the table next to the computer and went to sleep. It was funny. And once I gave them some of my fish one day, every time they seen me, they was thirsty. Yeah, they were some cool cats. I told a story about how I went to Western Union and how my name needed to be exactly the way it was on my passport. Now, keep in mind that I come from a hood area. Where I live in Chicago, it used to be a projects. They torn it down and rebuilt mixed income homes. And I had my grandmother to send me some money, which I paid her back for it later. And, people are unfamiliar with things. Like, for example, I remember when I first got my PayPal account, I was sent a PayPal card, not a debit card, but like a regular card where you can use your PayPal balance to pay for items in selected stores. So I went to the grocery store. I'm not going to name it. I should, because I don't like the way they treated me, but I'm not going to say the name of it. I went there and selected PayPal and swiped my card. And when I was asking the girl about PayPal, she didn't know what the heck I was talking about. One day I went in that grocery store and proceeded to type in my phone number because I didn't have my card. And you can use your phone number to log in. And her comment was, what you got to do? Type in your social security number? Just ignorant. Like, they don't know about their own systems, their own PayPal system. What else should you expect from a dollar store, right? But the same deal happened at the currency exchange when my grandmother went up there to send me some money. She went up to the currency exchange, and I told her the city I was living in, because you got to have the name of the city. Well, no, you don't have to have the name of the city. I thought you did, but you have to have the name of the country. So I told her Chiang Mai, Thailand. I should have just told her Thailand, but I thought they would need the city. So I told her Chiang Mai, spelled it CHIANGMAI, Thailand. And she wrote it as 3 different words. Gave it to the clerk, told her my grandson is here. He need, a couple of dollars. So I'm going to send it to him. Here's the name of the city. Now, the clerk, with, thinking with her ignorant mind, thought it said China. She said, Chiang Mai, China. Oh, China. I clearly told my grandmother Thailand, but she's unfamiliar with all the countries in Asia. You have to understand that here in America, we think that all Asian countries are the same. So the moment the lady read Chiang Mai, she said China and sent the money to China. Man, when I went up to the Western Union, like I said, in Asian countries, it's all about saving face, saving yourself from embarrassment, right? Man, I went in that Western Union and I was so embarrassed. There was a Middle Eastern guy from America right there who was waiting for Western Union to open, who kept on looking over at me. And a lady behind, I was like, no, the money is there. The money is there. And like I said before, you don't want to get aggressive. You don't want to get loud with Thai people. You want to be respectful at all times, no matter what the disagreement is about. And she said the money is not there. So I'm rushing back to the hostel. And I asked the people, can I please use your Wi-Fi? Use the Wi-Fi, called my grandmother. And I called Western Union. And I tried to get some information about the transaction. They couldn't give me no information because I'm not the person sending it. And then they closed. I'm like, okay, well, I got to stay in one of these dorm rooms tonight because the dorm rooms was cheaper at this hotel. So the next day, when I talked to my grandmother, she realized that the lady put in China. So she had to go right back there and change it again to Thailand and then send me the money. It created a big inconvenience. I was thinking about going up to that currency exchange later, letting them know, like, hey, your employee don't know what the heck Chiang Mai, Thailand is. She should have saw the Thailand word, but thought it said China. Okay, China. Crazy. But let me talk about these Khao San Road hustlers. Now, I've been all over Bangkok, and people are respectful. They don't really say anything to you unless you say something to them. But for some reason, on that Khao San Road, that's like the main strip where all the foreigners go, there's a lot of hustlers over there. The moment I get out the cab, I got the pink tuk-tuk guy I was telling you about before, trying to get my attention. Got the umbrella guy trying to sell me an umbrella, which I eventually bought, almost forcing me to buy it. You got a lot of hustlers. Also, it's very, very white over there. So if you're white and you're listening to this broadcast, you can go to Khao San Road and it's very Western. You will see Americans, you will see Australians, and it has a very modern feel to it. It's like, have you ever been to Cancun on that hotel strip? You got all those stores and hotels. I've never been there, but I saw videos. Or you've been, it's like Vegas without the lights, camera action, or without the big old casinos. It's kind of hard to explain. So I could see why when people go to Khao San Road, they get in trouble. Like if you watch some of the Locked Up Abroad episodes, I think the one guy went to Khao San Road and met up with people who hooked them up with the smuggling deal and the fake marriage license to get Thai girls to Japan and China so they can work as prostitutes or get pimped as human sex trafficking slaves. And also, if you do research about TEFL licenses, because a lot of people go to Thailand to teach English. But the country requires all teachers to have a TEFL license, and some people simply do not. So they'll go to Khao San Road and try to get a fake one printed up that look just like the real one. So you got a lot of document forgers over there. And I remember when there was a military coup in Thailand, was reading about it, they was hemming up a lot of foreigners that was entering and exiting Khao San Road, from what I hear. So me personally, I wouldn't go over there. That's just me personally. I'd rather just go to the regular neighborhoods because the energy over there is like different from the rest of Bangkok. I remember I talked about African people, and what's very interesting is that there's a couple of videos online where there's a regular guy walking through Chiang Mai, and you see so many black people, you think it's Harlem. I saw another black dude across the street. Me and him walked past, but we didn't say anything to each other. And it's very interesting. You know, a lot of black travelers complain about this. When you see other black travelers, for some reason, we don't say anything to each other. We actually treat each other aggressively to a certain degree, kind of turn our nose up. And unfortunately, I'm guilty of that. When I see other black travelers, I simply don't say anything, or, you know, once in a while, I'll nod my head or something like that. I remember when I used to leave the hostel every morning, I would see an African dude either crossing the bridge, because in Thailand they have bridges because the traffic is so congested there. They got bridges that start on one side of the street, go up over the street, and go down the other street, and people use them. They even have lanes sectioned off on the bridge that you can walk down. So if you're heading, let's say, east, you're walking on the right side. If you're heading west, you're walking on the left side. Very organized. And I would see him there, and I would nod at him just to try to create a camaraderie between black or African people who travel internationally, right? I remember I seen a black couple. You know, they was real young. I could tell they was from America, just enjoying Thailand. You know, so you see black people peppered out. Now take a look at this video. This is when I was on my health kick. I would say this is about, I don't know, man, about a couple of weeks into my Thailand trip. To me, I was looking fresh to death. I'm looking real healthy. Like I said, I was drinking smoothies. I was eating only 1 cup of noodles a day, eating dried seaweed snacks, fruits and vegetables, and I'm looking clean and clear. I want to get back to that. I also got my hair cut. If you watch Jubril's Mr. Think Outside the Box video about Thailand, his YouTube page, he has a video of him going to a barber shop. It's over there on Soy Silom 20. I actually went over there to get my hair cut. I'm not going to lie. The barber, he was kind of confused because my hairline is very interesting. And I have one of those unique receding hairlines, so kind of hard for him to navigate around it, but he did his best. And this is the result right here. The money translation. Now keep in mind that 100 baht is about $3. 100 baht is about $3. 500 baht is about $15. And 1,000 baht is about $30. Those are the translations. Keep that in mind. 10 baht is 30 cents. You understand? 50 baht is $1.53. Always keep that in mind when you're in Thailand. Now, this is the first place that the cabbie dropped me off at. It's the Al Sana Hotel. And like I was saying in another video, this hotel's real small. You see all my stuff all over the place. I had to wash everything by hand. But it was very, very dirty. Definitely wasn't worth the price. As I said, the air conditioner was molded. There was insects in there, roaches. You know, the bathroom, the bed was clean, luckily. But the bathroom, as you can see, it looks dirty. A lot of bathrooms in Thailand are like that. You have the shower head where you can pull it off and take a bath, and the bathroom is meshed with the shower. The more higher class hotels have a section off area for the shower. But regardless, you will get that extend thing that you can use to shower yourself. And of course, TV. I was watching Thai TV while I was there. See, in Bangkok, you will always find accommodation all over the city because it's so big. I think there's about 20 million people who travel there every year. It's like one of the hottest tourist spots in the world. So there's a lot of money flowing through Thailand. I think that's one of the reasons why there's not too much crime compared to America. Some people might disagree as far as like the cities are concerned, but there's always constructions. As you can see in this video, there's always something being built in Thailand. That's for sure. Let me tell you about this Chinese guy that I met on a bus coming from Chiang Mai to Bangkok. Now, I decided to choose the first class bus. They had single seats on the left side, but on the right side, they had one seat and another seat next to it. And with some of these buses, you do not choose who you're sitting next to if you choose a seat that has two seats within one row. So there was a Chinese guy from China who was visiting Thailand. He decided to spark up a conversation with me because, of course, he could tell that I was American. He asked me where I was from. I told him Chicago. He was surprised. He said that his grandmother lived in Chicago and that he wanted to go there. He also told me that he played basketball. Not regular basketball, but basketball in wheelchairs. He was a basketball coach. And he taught people in wheelchairs how to play ball at the university level. And he wanted to go to Chicago. I'm like, cool. While I was talking to him, I had to keep on running to the bathroom because I didn't know at the time that I was having the runs because of the bacteria that was on the food I was eating because I had it stored in dark places. I didn't understand that concept. I understand it now. So I think that's about it. The reason why I wanted to do this video, like I said, to keep y'all updated on what's going on and to recycle some of the old footage, because I noticed that a lot of people didn't view it. So you get to see another part of Thailand and you have some old stories to hold on to. So for all of you people who came to my YouTube channel because of Thailand, you are about to get hit with a lot of visual and audible pleasure because I'm going to be posting videos like crazy every single day once I get there. You heard me? So I'll see y'all later. Thanks for listening.